Hey, it's your girl Be Real, and thank you so much for joining me for another moment in the meantime. I hope that you're well. Hope your day has gotten started off really good or whatever. Yeah, man. I just hope hope today is a super bomb day for you. What was on your girl's mind today? It's actually it came from a conversation that God and I were having. We're talking about something completely different. He was walking me through some more things, and I was actually studying Exodus chapter 14, and he really got me in this place of like study. Like, don't just read because you ain't got anything else to do, or he just got me in this place of like a little devo that's not quite enough. So let's dig a little deeper for some things. And so he had your girl like literally going line by line of each verse, just hearing his heart for me about that. And in the middle of this conversation, he just asked me, he was like, "Are you mad at me?" And I was like, skirt. And I ignored it, and I just kept, reading, Exodus. And he said it again. He was like, "Are you mad at me?" And I was thinking, I was like, well, life is all right. I was just thinking, and then finally I stopped what I was doing, and I just looked, and I was like, a little bit. And we began to talk through that, and I was just like, I just feel like, a couple routes you've taken me, like, I just kind of wish that I hadn't have had to go that route for what you're doing in my life. And I know that you have a perfect plan, which is why I haven't wanted to be angry about it, I'm just trying to reason with myself on my answer to him. But I was just like, I guess on the cool line, I have been a little mad at you, but I've just not wanted to address that with you because I know you know what's best for me. So yeah, I've been mad, but I ain't really said nothing. I ain't want to just come to you like, "Hey God, I'm mad." So we talked about that, and he led me to 2 Kings chapter 5, and it's what I want to share with you. And it's about Naaman. He's a commander in his army. And he's like, highly respected and all of that. And so what happens is he ends up with a skin disease. And so somebody find out about somebody. And then so he decides to go. He ends up going to search for his healing, right? And so he ends up in a conversation with, what's his name? Elisha. And so he's there, like, "Hey, your boy got this skin situation going on. I'm trying to be healed, And so what Elisha does, he just sends a messenger to tell him, "Wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River, and your skin will be healthy and clean." And if anybody wants to study this or read it later, it's 2 Kings 5 and starts at verse 10. But he tells him, "Wash yourself 7 times in Jordan River, and your skin will be healthy and clean." And Naaman got mad about that. He was just like, "Bro, like," and he just turned to leave. Like, this boy, nah, beat it. And they were just like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "I thought he would have at least came out of his house, stood out somewhere, called on the name of the Lord, waved his hand over my diseased skin, and then my healing would come." And so he was mad about that because it was just like, "This how you gonna heal me? Like, really?" And one of the servants there with Naaman was like, if he had actually do this extraordinary act, would you have done it? Why wouldn't you just go and do what he said, like wash and be clean? Why won't you go to the Jordan River? And basically the situation with the Jordan River is just nasty. It's disgusting. And so he was just like, I can think of way more rivers and bodies of water you can send me to go get washed up. Why would you send me to this nasty river to get clean? It does not make any sense. And so after a little convincing from his servant, he actually goes to the Jordan River and he dips as he was instructed to do. And it said that his skin became healthy again, like a little child's skin. And so when I read that, because God sent me there, and when I was reading it, I was just like, okay. And God was just like, I sent you there to clean you. I know that it was dirty. I know that it was dirty and it was filthy and it was, I know that wasn't the most ideal situation for you, but I used that filth to clean you. I had to let you be in a situation where you didn't like what you saw or what you heard or what you felt or I needed to put you there so I could purify your heart, so that I could purify your motives, so that I could make sure that you were really clean. It was just like, sometimes we have this idea of what our healing looks like, of what our miracles look like. We have this idea of what breakthrough looks like, of how we should receive this, of how God is supposed to work this miracle for us. We just have this idea, but God is so complex while being so simple, that he just knows what he's doing, and he knows that sometimes what we think we need is actually not what we need at all. And so I was just with that conversation, or with just realizing all of this, I looked at God and I understood what he was trying to say to me. Just like, I know what you wanted, and I know how you thought things would play out, and I think that sometimes our ultimate fear is that what we want, God is always going to say no to that thing. And that's something I'm very passionate about, because I do believe that our wills have to align with the will of the Father. But I think that sometimes we get so afraid that he's not gonna give us the thing that we desire, that we just kind of we fail to say what we want. Hope I said that right. Sometimes it's just like, I'm gonna just take what he give me, because if I say what I want, he probably gonna tell me no. So I'm just not gonna really put out any requests or anything like that, because we're afraid of the fact that he may say no. But I'm a firm believer in what I have really seen God do in my life, is that he's not always against the thing that I want. He's more so against the way I want him to give it to me. So whereas I would have preferred this straight line to get there, he has this crooked path that's still going to lead me to the same place, but he wants me to go this way so that I can know that the thing what I'm about to get, that I actually wanted from the start, he's showing me that your way is not the way to get there. My way is the way to get there. So basically, just through walking through this with the Father, it was just him, just like, hey, don't be mad at me. Like, I'm giving you everything you desire. Like, everything we have talked about, all of that, but I just need your heart to be pure. And so if you go the way that I want you to go, your heart may not be pure when you get there. And that's in an impure heart, in the place that you want to be, you're not going to be sustained in that place with the spirit that you had. But because I took you this way, then I took off an offensive spirit. Because I took you this way, I removed doubt. Because I took you this way, I removed fear. Because I took you this way, I gave you compassion. Because I took you this way, I gave you an empathetic heart. Because I took you this way, I taught you how to stand up for yourself. Because I took you this way, I taught you how to be integral. Because I took you this way, I taught you how to respect leadership. Because I took you this way, I taught you how to just mature as a true woman of God. So embrace my route. And that's what I want to really express to you all, is that God, it's not that he always want to tell us no to the things that we want, because Naaman, all he wanted was a healing, but he wanted the healing his way, and so God still gave him the healing. Like, he was still healed, but the healing had to happen in a way that he didn't prefer. So just be open to the way God wants to move, because I just believe that in this season he's giving us the thing that we desire, because a lot of time what we desire is not a bad thing, but he's wanting to give it to you in the way of which he desires. So we just have to yield to his method. Let's just yield to his method of doing things. And it's not always easy. It's not always easy, but I believe that he knows what's best. And so my prayer for you today, and it's for myself as well, is that we would not be so stuck on how we want something to get done that we abandon his how, or when he takes us on his route that we low-key mad and don't even realize we're sitting around with attitude with the Father, like I was. So that was a really good conversation that the Father and I had, and I hope that it resonated with you as well. But that's all I have for today. If you have not followed me on Instagram, go ahead and do that now at B.REEL. If you put REAL, you're not going to find me there. So B.REEL. Once you get there, go ahead and follow me. Go through my stories, chat with me. Let's just get to know each other. And I thank you guys so much for tuning in today, for doing life with me. Remember, you are loved, you are chosen, you are beautiful, you are enough. And yeah, that's what it is. Bye.